Hey, what's up, you guys? Marty Schwartz here from GuitarJams.com. Gonna bring you a soloing lesson today. Getting some requests about people kind of breaking out of their rut. I'm playing the same licks over and over. How do I get out of that? There's a lot of ways to do it. I'm going to show you a little spot in the pentatonic that might give you some new ideas. So we'll zoom in and I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's actually the position right above the home row position. The one right above this. With the blues notes, of course. So it's got the root on the D string and the B string. Anyway, we'll zoom in. I'll show you all about it. But a good way to practice these licks are over jam tracks. So I'm going to leave a link for some free MP3 jam tracks that I made personally for you. Totally free in that link down there. You can practice the licks over it. It's all good. But anyway, let's get to it. Here we go. All right, so typically when people are soloing, you know, they use, I got this from my buddy Bob Ryan, but, you know, the home row. You know, it's just like that main pentatonic that everyone kind of starts with, and you get a lot of cool licks in there. You know, it's still the one I probably use the most, along with everybody else. But I want to show you the whole position right above it. So we're in the key of A, or the A minor pentatonic, you know, like A rock, A blues kind of thing. And I typically show the position up from this extension. And then go back down. But what happens if we just stay here for a while, or stay here the whole time, to get some new ideas? Every position of the pentatonic, the notes kind of lay out differently, so you can get different licks from the different positions, and that gives you versatility or some new ideas. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to just first plug it in by the root. So like I said, we're playing. We want to find the root. So I plug in my root right here on the D string. That's an A note on the D string. So that's how we're finding the position. But you can play it all the way across, but I'm just starting by locating my root so I know the context of me plugging the scale in. Okay, so it's right here on the 7th fret of the D string. Now let's just go up from there. We got 7 to 10, and then we've got 7 to 9 on the G string. And now a little finger change, because we're going to go 8, 10 on the B, and 8, 10 on the high E, and back down. Use your ring finger here to the 9th of the G, pinky on the 10, or ring finger on the 10. Okay, let's finish it out though. If you haven't noticed yet, in the pentatonic positions, if you have a long one here that's a minor third distance, you always have one right next to it. So that's happens right here now. So it would be the 7th to the 10th on the A string. And then the same thing on the D. Okay, last on the E string, it's a little bit weird, because most people plug their scale in on the E string to start with, but it's going to be this. You hear how it doesn't sound resolved? That's the resolution right there, or down to that root. I don't want to be offensive here. Okay, so now I want to add the blues note in two really good spots. The blues note would be right here on the 8th fret of the G string. Then you've got the 11th fret of the high E. So one really good thing that I would recommend you practicing is running that from the D string with the blues note Okay, another thing with that is to get some fast licks going there, do the hammer-ons and pull-offs. And so that would be a hammer-on on this first one with one pick. And then one pick on the G string, 3 notes. See that? Then we're going to do on the B string, one pick. And then on the high E, you could actually do one pick for all of them. And on the way back, pull-offs. Look at my right hand for a second. Okay, you can get faster licks with the hammer-on pull-offs, so you want to practice that. And then all the juicy flavor in that blues note, there's lots of stuff. One is just the hammer-on pull-off on that blues note right there, and then pinky to the 10 of the D. And right there. Okay? But then you could also slide that blues note. And they both have different characteristics. Okay, another thing that's more secret weapon kind of stuff are those little sour bends. And there's a few spots in here where that's going to work really well. First one I think of is the 10 of the D. Just bend it just a little, just bend it a little bit out of tune, but right before you go to another note. Now, if you bend it up to the next note, then you've gone too far. You want it to be full that. And you don't want to hear it go back down. You don't want to hear it. Oops, sorry. You only want to hear it go up a little bit, then to another note. So it's like a passing tone, just like the blues note, but we're doing it a little differently. Now you can do the same thing on the A string. But it has to go a little bit of a bend to another note in the scale. Okay. Now this note here on the A string is the same note as the 8th fret on the B string. And then you'd have the same thing on the high E, the 8th fret. So keep working on these ideas and know that it's right above the one that you probably use all the time. See that? I could transition my index finger up a whole step in that home row, and now I'm in that thing that I was just showing you, as opposed to using the extension. Does that mean not to use the extension anymore? No, it's another choice. It's another choice. Okay. One last thing that I love, I mean, we could go on and on here, but this is a good start for you, is this note right here on the 9th fret of the G that we can bend it up to that note right there. So it's like a super bend. Hear that? You got to bend it really far. And then all right, so hopefully that gives you a little spark, and there'll be more coming. All right, that was it. Remember, you can practice these ideas over the MP3 Jam tracks, that link I got down there. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me, and I'm sure there'll be more video lessons. As long as video cameras exist and YouTube exists, you'll see me again. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you later.